Welcome to an episode of Barman Saturdays, and this week I decided to take a look at the final film in this short film collection, Johnny Appleseed, from 1948. And I have to admit, I find the song they sing about what you can do with apples rather misleading.
There's apple pickles, oh so tasty, apple tarts and apple pasty, apple dumplings, not to mention apple sass. Yes, and there's apple fritters, light as thistle, and for folks to wet their whistle, tangy apple cider and a glass.
This is because until relatively recently, when it came to apples, you wouldn't actually eat them because they tasted like crap. You know, they're really bitter. They weren't something you would really munch on to enjoy it. Instead, you would press the apples for their juice and let that juice ferment into hard cider. So, basically, the only reason you'd want to have an apple orchard would be to make an alcoholic beverage. So that would have been the main benefit of Johnny Appleseed going around, planting apple seeds everywhere. His apples would taste terrible, but you could turn it into alcohol. So that was why you'd want to have those apples nearby. Because sometimes that fermented apple cider was better for you than the water that was nearby, because it'd be too contaminated from, what various settlers were doing. There wasn't as much option for water treatment back then, so sometimes, if you wanted to survive, it's best to just drink booze, which is probably why people drink way more of it than they do now. It's just safer for me, to hit up the tap, and just drink this hard alcohol. So yeah, I just don't like the song. It's very misleading to what actually happened. And this story starts off by saying itself, as like the real story of John Chapman.
This is his story, told by an old settler who knew Johnny well.
Yet tends to lean more, I think, into the myth of John Chapman, or Johnny Appleseed. Which isn't necessarily awful, but it feels misleading based on the start, So yeah, it's not a bad short, I like the music and stuff, but at the same time, I can't get over how much it relies on the myth of the character rather than the historical account. Until next time, then. See ya.
Well, sir, that done it. The critters ne'er seed the beat of that. The likes of a human alike in that cat.